Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in once again. My name is Naz, this is my buddy Jake. We're the Reaction Haven, and today we're finally gonna be watching The Batman.
We've been super stoked to see this movie since when did the
Ages.
yeah like
Literally ages.
probably 2019.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, but we were just talking about how Robert Pattinson has grown into a very good dramatic actor.
Very versatile actor.
Yeah, so we're really looking forward to seeing what he brings to the role.
We grew up around, the Twilight age.
That was all of
movies.
our 8th grade.
Yeah,
Just
that was our middle
every
school.
single girl walking around with that book.
Yeah, are you Team Jacob or are you Team Edward?
Oh my
It's like,
gosh.
no one cared. Anyways, we're very excited to see him portray the Dark Knight. We're gonna see, the new take on what he has for the character. The director Matt Reeves.
I'm excited to see Colin Farrell's character too.
Oh yeah,
That'd be
doesn't
really
look
good.
anything
Oh,
like
man.
him. They couldn't have cast a fat actor to play the Penguin.
yeah.
they get
Phobia.
Yeah, they got one of the most gorgeous people on the planet to play the Penguin. Whatever. All right, but we'll see. Stay tuned till the end. In the meantime, we'll see you in a bit. Alright guys, we just got out of the theater from watching The Batman, and here are our right out of the theater post-movie thoughts. First thing we want to mention is the runtime. You definitely felt, what is it, like two and a half, 2:45? You really felt the runtime there.
Just when you think it's wrapping up, you're like, oh, there's this whole other subplot.
Oh, here's another half hour.
Great. Definitely could have been chopped down a bit.
Yeah, it definitely could have been trimmed down, I do agree. There were some scenes that kind of held on too long, you didn't really quite need. On the flip side, you can tell that with the direction of Matt Reeves here, every single scene was done with the utmost care and respect and love for the Batman character. Every single scene. You felt that the real appreciation for the character, and that was a very, very big positive that we experienced from the film.
The direction was amazing.
Cinematography
Cinematography
was also very good.
The music, I personally love the music. Like from the get-go, like the first 2 minutes of music just had you hooked, and you were like, "What's going on?"
The very beginning, this is not a spoiler. Batman's character is sort of described from the point of view of criminals. He's like, all criminals fear him. Like from the first 5 minutes, you're like, okay, this is this character. But he's in that subway station. He's beating up those guys with like the white,
so good.
the white colored face paint. Oh man, it's brutal. The chase scene with the Batman and the Penguin, I'm gonna say it's up there with one of the best car chase scenes in like any movie I've ever seen. Like I was like gripping the edge of my chair. It's up there with like some of the best Fast and the Furious chase scenes.
One thing I didn't like as much was the Batman's relationship with Catwoman. It was very forced and it was not organic.
The relationship could have been flushed out a little bit more, but we get what they were trying to do there. It was kind of just awkward at some points. Wanted to see more was the Alfred character.
Yeah.
We wanted to see more of the backstory. They kind of hinted it here and there of what the relationship is like between Alfred and Bruce, but we wanted to see a lot more of that backstory. They didn't touch on it quite.
He was there for like
enough.
3 scenes.
Yeah.
It was like no Alfred at all.
This movie definitely reminds me of an Arkham game, if you've played those, mixed in with like an NCIS Law and Order type procedural. You see like the whole detective aspect of Batman, him like figuring out what the heck Riddler's doing, and how it all kind of ties in. And also, there's parts of it that remind me of a straight up like a Saw movie. There's some definite, out of all the superhero movies I've seen, this is one of the scariest, like thematic wise. Like some shots are like straight out of like Seven.
It's definitely a darker version of the Batman, and not only in terms of like what Naz was saying, like bringing in kind of elements that remind you of kind of horror movies, right?
Yeah.
But also his character itself is very almost kind of depressed.
Emo.
Or just, yeah, like super emo, always angry, and he's always the same everywhere. Like he doesn't put on a face when he's Bruce Wayne in front of people. He's the same all the time. So that's like a huge difference between him and the past actors who have portrayed Batman.
Yeah, speaking of his character, halfway through the movie, I was kind of thinking of, since this is still a superhero movie, what are the kids who are watching this gonna be thinking of this character? There was all these twists and turns, and it was a very, very complex movie. It had a lot of layers, and I was just thinking, are kids gonna be able to follow through all this? Because it's very deep, and you saw in the trailer, there's a conspiracy between like the Riddler and how Batman's involved, and that's all I'm gonna get into it. You had to be on it because you could have missed like some important details, so you had to be on it.
Even though it was a 3-hour movie and it got kind of slow at parts, your eyes are just glued to the screen the whole time. While there are some dull moments, they're pretty few and far between.
Yeah, speaking of dull, there's a lot of talking.
Yeah, oh yeah.
A lot of talking.
Fast talking.
But whenever the action's there, like, it's there. Like,
Oh yeah.
Especially the
Delivers.
ending, the ending kind of, it's still good, but it turns maybe a little bit too comic booky.
Oh yeah.
Kind of felt like, if you've seen our Black Widow reaction, kind of like that ending where it's like, it felt a little too grand to be actually happening. Like, it was still believable, but it kind of went past a little bit, but not too much where we're just like, okay, what's going on?
So Paul Dano as the Riddler, man, what a great actor for portraying someone who's a psycho, which is basically the only kind of characters he plays, right? He's kind of typecast as just like a weird psycho, and he's perfect at it.
And I believe it. It's
Yeah,
like whenever he's like
you believe it.
screaming and like losing his mind, it's like, I believe you're a psychopath.
I believe you're crazy, because he probably is.
Yeah.
But,
Great performance by him.
great
for sure.
performance, great actor. Yes, he's the Riddler, but it was mixed in with this like Saw element of just like the way he killed people.
Oh yeah.
Without giving away spoilers, just was just really, very theatrical.
Yeah, very theatrical kind of how he goes about doing his murdering. There is a post-credit scene, but you don't really have to stay for it. It's not really anything important. That's all I'm gonna say. You could probably just look it up somewhere online, like Batman post-credit scene. Look up what it is, because it's not really anything much.
Thank you guys so much for tuning into this new episode of Reaction Haven, where we watched and did a quick post-reaction to The Batman, which all of you guys should definitely go see.
Highly recommend for sure.
Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Reaction Haven.
All right, thanks guys.